Disclaimer, I have a diverse language. I speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and I do swear. I say fuck a lot out of frustration. Remember the game of life and frustration and hungry hippos. Operation. I swear by the moon and the stars and the sun in the sky. Do you know what it's like living every day of your life explaining yourself? Everyone in the world does, don't they? When you lie, you cover it up with another lie, and then you cover it up with another lie, and then you cover it up with another lie, and then you cover it up with another lie over 5 days. Think how many lies you have to remember and how many people you've told, to then how many people you have to remember you've told, to then 2 weeks, to then a year, to then longer. When you say something over and over again, you start believing it because you can't actually remember the truth. Can you? Because you've delusioned yourself. You've convinced yourself that's the way it was. Because you've told so many lies, you're so confused in your own head that you can't remember the truth and you can't remember your lies. That's delusion in logic, in the physical world, of evidential proof in any textbook if you read them. If you have a book of instructions, why do you lie about evidential experiences of life? I'm not talking to everyone. Why do you lie? And you know someone's suffering. So I'm going to talk about my mum because she's no longer here, but I'm sure she will respect me and she knows my motives of why. So my mum was horrifically raped, horrifically sexually abused. She was horrifically beaten. She was horrifically judged, horrifically, mentally and emotionally tortured her entire life from a teenager and younger because no one stood up for her and said, she's not lying, she's telling the truth. I was there, I experienced that. And I not experienced that, but I experienced her response, her reaction, her actions, her emotion, her mental state and her physical appearance after those attacks, every abuse, every single thing. How many people were there present when my mum was a young girl? How many people were present? How many people have kept silent on my mum's suffering personally? How many individuals? How many individuals have kept silent on yours? And then with their silence, because they can't cope with the truth, you get distracted and you divert from the truth because it's too painful to deal with, because no one else dealt with it. And you feel like you're the only one in their life that may be able to keep her sane. Yet you can't keep someone sane when you're denying your all's truth of an actual evidential experience, whether physically directly watching that happen or physically after or years later when she's frigging expressing it because you don't know what the fuck's going on because she's so sedated on medication that she doesn't know reality from illusion because she's actually been denied her truth, which has made her so unbalanced mentally and emotionally and then physically with all that medication eating inside her. Where's the balance of any individual? And I don't talk about my mum, I talk about anyone that knew my mother. Where's the balance in you, emotionally, physically, mentally? Where is it? And then what do you do about it? What are you doing about it right now? Crying, heartache, physical pain. When you get stressed, what does stress do to a physical body? Do you know what? You don't even know the full consequences, but it is very known that any stress, any trauma can kill someone like that. If a child came to you and said, that person just touched me, what would you do about it? Because of your experience, you would overreact, you would judge, you'd be straight in there. And then that person would be isolated. Whether they'd done anything or not, that child might have seen something on TV. But if you have a vendetta against someone, you'll use it against them in anything you can do to eradicate the truth so you can get your own way and live comfortably. Driving yourself delusional and having all these mental health issues and labels because you actually done that. You done that action. You spoke that lie. You lived in a delusion, in an illusion, and then you become so obsessed with it that you try to make everyone else live it around you. How lawful is that? How honourable is that? How respectful are you? Do you have self-friggin' respect? To everyone I've known, I've said, I'm hungry. I'm exhausted. Tell me the truth. Stop lying to other people. Stop lying to yourself. You only come into my life, if you have come into my life again, because you wanted to shine. Whether to look good in front of other people, to cover up your lies or malice or really shitty behaviour that you're trying to project on other people, or whether your heart was breaking because you know my truth is equal to yours on the principle, not the situational circumstance or the individuals involved, but you've experienced similar in your past. And you're too scared and you feel so guilty. And because you haven't dealt with your own issues, you feel ashamed. And then you fear stepping out, contacting me, because it's too painful to face truth of your own, nothing to do with me. There's two categories of people there. And in any family tree of a mum and a dad, you have the family tree, which is limitless. Now I know who tells me the truth, and I know who's truthful to themselves, and I know who are fucking hurting too much to call out to me. To say, I love you, I'm thinking of you, you're doing all right, keep going. I equally know this minority that has influenced malice, has influenced opinions, have driven people to depression and anxiety and panic attacks and a really shitty negative life, thought pattern, emotional and mental struggle and personal torture, equally, that they're too scared to do anything because of all these others' opinions and influence of actually you, whoever you are, outcasting them. Again, everything has a rippling effect. What category are you in on these two particulars that I said about? Because I already know the truth of each individual from my personal past, in profession and personal, because they're all my personal and professional everything, whether on comic books or in your minds and in your hearts. And actually, who has mental health issues? Who has physical issues? Who is emotionally unbalanced? To live my life at any point, it's been lived on other people's opinions because I was too scared to jump and do what I knew was right. Whether it was directly for me or directly for other people, in any capacity of employment, of a law-abiding action, of talking the truth about someone. Do you know this one? Being true to myself and not giving a shit about other people's opinions because they don't have to live my life. There's 4 there. How many frigging trees come off that? How many rippling effects? How many people's lives are affected by that? Every communication I have to go through the whole fucking shebang of other people's bullshit, of other people's lies, of other people's malice, of other people's every single negative thing, of action, of evidential, factual everything that you have proven to me through your emails, through your letters, through your behaviours in front of other people, through my response, of my emotion, of my mental and my physical appearances, of what's been seen, what's been experienced when you have severely abused my good nature. Now I am bloody good to still sit here and not only learn who I am and have the courage, because I can't talk to anyone because everyone judges, because they don't look at my best interest, they look at their own desires, and then they either envy me, they're jealous of me, or they want to be my everything. And as soon as I say, no, I don't want this, I need some space, or help me, they can't do it. And they can't do it because of other people's opinions. And also my situation seems so insane that it's too much for them to cope with, because there's too many truths in my one everything right now that not one individual can actually cope with 24/7. Because there is other shit going on in all of our lives. And that's one of the reasons why this category of those 2 are feeling so shit about themselves and their hearts are aching like fuck. Because they know the truth. They've not only experienced it, they've lived it. Whether they're past or with me. They know truth, they know good, they know bad. They know lawful actions, they know illegal actions. Yet who has the courage and bravery and honour and pride, respect and law-abiding speech to do something about it, to act, to make better, to make sure there's no more harm, there's no more hurt, there's no more suffering, there's no more possible death. There's no more bullying, there's no more dominance, there's no more narcissistic behaviours, there's no more sociopaths, and possibly worse, because that's all you're learning, however old you are. And is that okay? Is that lawful? Is that respectable? Is that the correct behaviour? To have really honourable people, law-abiding, now influenced in their own insanity because they can't believe, do you know what, I am doing all right and I do enjoy every day of my life. And when I get pissed off and ill, it's because another one from my past has come in and I've had to make another action of my own faithful leap of freaking jumping into whatever bizarreness. Because it's insane what I have had to deal with. And people think the more pressure and the more stress they can give on someone, they'll give up. And that is the case. But it hasn't been with me. If anyone had one of my issues, some would break and kill themselves. If anyone had 2 of my issues, some would be beside themselves so fucking much, but other people would support them, I'm sure. If anyone had all of my issues, would you be here on your own like I am, enjoying life, not only dealing with other people's shittiness from my past, and theirs equally, enjoying my present moment and planning my future and doing everything I can of a law-abiding, appropriate, respectful and honourable manner of not penalising anyone else for their complete inhumane behaviour that they live still today, lying to themselves and everyone around them, laughing at me when actually I was never one to laugh at. And when they do, I don't say, what the fuck are you laughing at? I used to, but I learned everyone can only control themselves. And when we lie, that's our own ownership, that's our own responsibility. If we do an action that's harmed another, if we know someone else is suffering, that's our responsibility to act. And if someone knows about it, then they should act equally. Who is? Who has? Where? When? How? What? Love and light. Have a good day. Enjoy the heat of the sun. Mother Earth and Mother Nature is pissed with humanity. Namaste.